Before we begin, let me ask you something. Can a community rise if it has no shared vision? Are our masajid building leaders, or just hosting events? What if we don't allow our children to ask us about Islam, faith, and their identity? This is part 5 of Dignity's urgent call. Last time, Adel gave us powerful individual steps. Today, we're zooming out. What should masajid and Muslim organizations be doing? Adel, where do communities even start?
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. First thing, and this might sound simple, but most communities skip it. As a masjid or a community, agree on a written vision. For example, to raise a generation of responsible, empowered Muslims who serve Islam and society. Try to set a few clear and measurable goals each year. For sure related to youth, education, service, and or da'wah, and so on.
So clarity first, knowing where you're going. What about the next generation? How do we actually guide them?
Oh, this is critical. Pair younger Muslims with older, experienced mentor in faith, study, work, and life. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ always did that. We know that young people are guided by the wisdom of their elders. The Prophet ﷺ built leaders who would then build other leaders, not just disciples. So encourage regular meetings with clear goals between the young and the experienced mentors. Focus these relationships on building confidence, responsibility, and a strong Islamic identity.
Mentorship, that personal connection. Now, parents are on the front lines. How should they talk to their kids about what's happening in the world?
Oh, this is where a lot of parents struggle. So, hold workshops for parents on how to speak to their children about oppression, injustice, and the current events around us. So, teach them how to be honest about reality, but still pass on a mindset of responsibility, action, and for sure trust in Allah.
Honesty without helplessness. That's a hard balance. What about when youth have doubts, tough questions about Allah, faith, or identity?
Yeah, we have to make space for that. We have to organize open sessions where youth can ask difficult questions about Allah, faith, identity, or any world events without fear or shame. Believe me, I have sat with many young Muslims who have questions that some people consider them like blasphemous or even heretical, kufr. But these aren't acts of disbelief. They are simply questions that came to their minds, whether from their own thinking, from something someone else said, or from doubts whispered by Satan or Shaitan. However, in all cases, you must answer them and dispel the doubts in their minds. Never shut them down with, "Don't ask these questions, don't ask that, that is kufr," or anything like that. Such words only silence young people outwardly, while they harbor extremists, while they blasphemous or kufr questions or atheistic thoughts that could influence them at any time. So we must provide a safe environment for them to express what's inside, then address and correct them. Answer their questions with knowledge, patience, and empathy. I like to call them the questions we fear to hear. So please always guide the discussion towards constructive actions and a healthy, responsible mindset.
Because silence just creates more doubt. Now, should Muslim organizations work in isolation? Or is there a better way?
No, definitely not in isolation. Work together with other Muslim organizations on shared goals such as justice, poverty relief, education, or any other thing like that. Also cooperate with fair and ethical non-Muslim groups on common causes when appropriate. Show youth that Muslims are proactive partners in building a better society, not isolated victims standing alone.
Subhanallah, that changes the whole narrative. Adel, we've covered a lot across these 5 episodes, Let me try to bring this together. We started with angels rebuking people for accepting oppression. Then we talked about victim mentality versus responsibility. Then individual action. And now community transformation. So help me understand, what's the thread that ties all of this together?
You know, the thread is this: Allah doesn't want passive Muslims. He wants believers who take responsibility for their dignity, their faith, and their community, their ummah. Everything we have talked about, it all comes back to one question. Are we going to be recipients of our reality or creators of it?
Recipients or creators. That's powerful. But let me push back on something. Some people might say, this whole series feels like you're blaming Muslims for their situation. What about the real oppression? What about injustice from outside?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Listen carefully. I'm not denying injustice. What I'm saying is that we cannot let oppression define our entire identity and paralyze our actions. Acknowledging reality is important, but staying stuck in victimhood helps no one.
So it's not either or. It's both acknowledging the challenges and taking responsibility for what we can control. One last thing. If someone is listening right now and they want to start tomorrow, what's the very first thing they should do?
Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you scroll through the news, sit for 2 minutes, only 2 or 3 minutes, and ask yourself, what is the one action I can take today that serves Allah and benefits Muslims? Even if it's small, try to find something. Then write it down, do it, then repeat the next day or find something else. Small, consistent actions build movements.
Adel, this has been an incredible journey across these 5 episodes. Jazakallah khairan. Brothers and sisters, now I want to hear from you. We've covered some challenging topics, and I know not everyone will agree with everything. So let me leave you with a question to think about. And please share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Muslims today have a victim mentality, or are we simply responding to real oppression? Your voice matters. Your perspective matters. If this series moved you, challenged you, or made you think differently, please like it, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe so we can continue these important discussions. This is Dignity's urgent call. The call is for all of us. The time is now. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.